Today's devotion is titled Production Part 2, Strengthen My Hands. And we're on day 247. We're on September 4th. And today's morning rinse is Nehemiah 6 through 8. And the featured verse today is Nehemiah 6:9. For all of them were trying to frighten us, thinking, they will become discouraged with the work and it will not be done. But now, O God, strengthen my hands. This is too hard. They're lying about me. I'm afraid. What if Nehemiah had bowed to fear and had let these types of thoughts control him? What if he had listened to those people who were trying to distract him or lie about him? I will tell you what would have happened. The wall would not have been completed. The production of the wall would have stopped. The opposers in this story, as you read, they were so angry about what Nehemiah and all of the people were doing that they tried everything they could to stop him. And you can read that in chapter 6, verses 1 through 4. They started rumors about him in chapter 6, verses 5 through 8. And they even tried to destroy his testimony by getting him to sin in chapter 6, verse 13. There will be opposition when you are doing the work of God. Hands down, there will be opposition. And the question is, will you bow to fear or will you ask God to strengthen your hands during the opposition? And this is part 2 of the production steps in Nehemiah's business plan. You need to be mindful of any distractions. Stay focused on what you are doing. And this is chapter 6, verse 2 through 3. You also need to discern the lies about you. There's always going to be people who don't necessarily like you or don't agree with what you are doing or agree with what you are saying, but don't stop the work. And this is in chapter 6, verses 6 through 8. Another thing that Nehemiah did that was so powerful was that he would spontaneously pray when making decisions and ask for strength to finish it. And I've talked about that before in the fact that when we are conversing with God all day long, we bring him into the conversation, we bring him into those decisions, and we ask for strength to finish what he is asking us to do. And then discern wrong counsel and stay on the course. When that opposition comes or when discouraging voices are around us, we have to discern that that is not the counsel that we need. Then also, too, one of the things that I love about Nehemiah is that he's lived with integrity in all of his decisions, because his number one priority, other than doing the mission of God and having that godly relationship, I feel, is to live a life of integrity. In all of his decisions, he lived a life of integrity so that he would protect his character. And granted, we are going to have people around us, again, who oppose us or say things negatively about us or disagree with us or even be used by the enemy to trip us up or get us off course or get us thinking about other things other than heavenly focus. That will come. We have to live with integrity and protect our character. And then after all of these things we begin the real work, the legacy of home building, the legacy of, what we're doing, with renewed hearts and restored peace. Don't let fear stop you. And another part to the production of this is to finish your list of 52 things. Remember when I talked about the 52 days? Well, here's another thing is I go to these conferences and I just got back from a real estate conference, and all day for 3 long days of, listening to amazing speakers and successful agents throughout the country, my notebook was full of things that I wanted to do. And in essence, I created my own 52 things in my notebook. And that's when we take those things, that list, and prioritize it. And oftentimes we think of, we go through these conferences and we pick one thing to do, but that one thing can actually consist of 20 things off of your list of 52 things to do. And so it's like, yeah, I'm going to do one thing, but all the things that I need to do regarding the one thing includes all of these, itemized items. The other thing is to set yourself in motion to praise God. And we see that in chapter 7, verse 1. I love that even though I may be going through some difficult times right now, there may be some challenges that I am facing, whether it be, something within my family or something within my business or something, that a friend is going through. I have created a habit for myself that no matter what that big, hard thing is, I want to set in motion to look for even tiny, tiny things to praise God about, because the enemy will try to trip us up and get us focused on the wrong thing. And if we can focus on little praise reports, it changes our mind, it changes our trajectory, it changes our attitude, and therefore we are able to continually, go move forward. And it also is helping us when we try to protect our work that we are doing, and having an attitude of praise and thanksgiving no matter what we are going through will help us continually look for those things that help us move forward. And then, after your project is complete, maybe you have, a ministry that you've launched, or you've launched a business, or you've done this. That does not mean that you are finished. It doesn't mean that there's a period to this sentence. Once the wall was completed, the true legacy began, and they began to build the homes. The homes needed to be built for the people, and the life of how God intended for them to live was set in motion. It was a new beginning of reformation in their hearts, as well as restoration of customs and traditions, and all bringing praise to their heart. So this included a protection plan for the wall by having each family guard the section in front of their home. Their legacy was set in motion, and it was all because of one man's obedience. And whatever you are building, whatever you are doing, whatever you are living out right now, all it takes is one person to start. You have the resources all around you, just like Nehemiah had the resources all around him. People are our resource. People are who we need to invest in to help bring it to fruition, to help make it happen. And so the production of this wall ended, and then the true legacy began. And so what legacy are you building right now? Because that's where all of it comes. That's the root, the foundation of everything. And once you're continually moving into the ministry that God has for you, the legacy will then begin to set in motion. So today's challenge to dig deeper is to ask yourself, what legacy are you building? God's plan for you it's not just for now, but it's for the future. All these plans that God has for you, think of it in the future. Ask God to strengthen your hands as this legacy is being built, and think broader than, just what you're doing right now. Think in the future at the legacy that you are building with the things that God has equipped you to build with. And then when you pull out your journal tonight and you're reflecting on what Nehemiah did and how he did it and how you can apply that to your own life, was there something that you did today to keep your plans in motion? Maybe it was time blocking. Maybe it was making some phone calls to help spur on the motion of what you're wanting to do. Maybe there's, somebody at your church or somebody at a recent conference that has the giftings that you need in order to, project you forward into that next step. I don't know what that is. I love the book of Nehemiah because it gives practical things that we can do every single day to build our legacy and to help with the business plan that we have for our lives. And so I'm looking forward, honestly, to hearing some of the things that you guys are building or have built. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the things that you guys are implementing in your life. So please let me know. And if you've got somebody who, needs encouragement, forward this to them, and hopefully they will be able to, get some mojo, if you will, into whatever they're doing. And so keep moving forward. And obviously, we are going to move on to tomorrow's morning rinse. So until tomorrow, keep rinsing, reflecting, and repeating. God bless you.